That's a marksman.
Against the Freya, it's not the worst matchup.
True.
Man, Farsa.
Esme would have been safer, I think, against
Esme would have
the
been
Freya
safer.
in lane.
For sure, but I guess they're thinking maybe the damage would be lacking, right?
Makes
Because
sense.
the Valen is a bit more utility, even though he does a lot of damage now in the early game.
So if you had to sway, which way would you sway?
I think this is a very 50-50 draft. Like, it's a team fight draft for both. They want to brawl.
Not even a 51-49, Miracle.
No, I think it's down in the middle, man. This is really good for both. I like it.
Cut straight in the middle. What do you guys think back at home? Tell us your predictions in the comment section, because it looks like it will be an action-packed game. We're looking at the counter index rating, but technically, even since yesterday, we haven't seen too much of success from the lineup rating. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the debut of the Dark Horses of MPL ID Season 17. Let's see how they roll. Let's see how they perform in game number 1.
It's gonna be very interesting, folks. Dewa United, their debut, going up against 3 rookies that won MPL ID last season.
Yeah, don't forget 2 veterans, still Nile and Finn, to keep it stable. Guinevere Rome. Aldo mentioned this yesterday. It's a really good option still, man, especially with the flicker, right? Because when you're in the jungle, it's a very one-dimensional engage. It's very visible. You can see it, the spatial migration, and that's it, right? But with a flicker, it changes things. Spatial migration flicker, you can really catch people off guard, especially in the dangerous grass map.
Anything catching your eye in the emblems by Bayou?
Nothing too crazy, I guess just aggressive pull yourself together, but that's pretty common amongst Guinevere Romes, the Bargain Hunter as well, and Kin, as usual, just dominating in lane with his signature Arlet pick.
Yeah, that's something that we forgot to mention, right? Arlet back on the hands of Kin. We've seen what he's been able to do. Very great with momentum-based heroes. We saw him great on the Alice as well. So this will be quite a test as well for Lynch as he also makes his debut here in that EXP lane. It's one of the lanes that we should look out for as well.
Yeah, another thing to mention for me is Lynch has chosen to go Concussive Blast. He knows that he's, or maybe he's just respecting the matchup potential. He's just going to try to go for the clear and then rotate faster with Concussive Blast instead of going for the trades against Kin.
That requires level 4, so we're waiting on that moment. We already see some rotations coming in from Nile as well as Finn, looking to open up the map just a little bit more in order for them to set up for the first neutral objective, which is this turtle, but they don't find it, they don't go for it.
Lynch is freezing top lane.
They put Nile up top, by the way. They let him stay there so that they get prio over it. Level 4 quick for Lynch.
The bottom side, Baby, though, has room to rotate early. That's going to be early info from Bigatron that potentially Dewa United can fight Turtle with 5 members.
Yep.
Let's see how it goes. Bigatron will they commit Lich? Well, moves onward Skin, but in the mid lane, early Feather Strike by Octa. And Clive jumps in. The Terrify forces Octa to use the flicker and maybe now caught in the mid lane. Still able to juke though. Riza will be forced to use that flicker now. Phantom Steed pod to maybe below 50% HP. Will have to reposition as this will be a slow turtle take.
Yeah, they both completely reset there earlier, a 5v4, but we saw Clive suddenly rotate towards the turtle as well, resetting, good positioning as well, enough damage to hinder Dewa. But now it looks like Dewa's restarting the turtle.
Yeah, you know, very fast as well. That's the first turtle down though.
It's very risky to take those fights, right? For BTR as well. They burned out 2 flickers. And Dewa still had some big ultimates. And remember the combo hit.
Hold on, initial migration. That's the combo. Octa finds first blood. The first kill for Dewa United in Season 17.
Unfortunately, Finn tried to cancel that, but wasn't quite in range enough to able to do so. We see some rotations coming from Dalvin, but wait a second, Moeza!
A big one. That's going to be Nile. Very low Phantom Steed. Popped it as well. But Bigatron will lose another member.
Dewa are really just going for these pickoffs, man. That spatial migration coming in handy.
Talent prediction in by GoPay. 2-1, 2-1. Of course, BTR goes for 2-0 for Vitality. Still confident?
Still pretty confident. It's okay, you know? The scaling is going to be on Dewa's side, if I'm going to be honest here. But BTR, luckily they didn't lose too much. The gold lead isn't that far over. Oh, Moeza!
Oh, very good. Final slash, the initiation with the follow-up as well. Add that to the tally. 3-0.
This is beautiful, right? We were talking about Mueza pre-game, talking about his performances so far, the way that he's been able to improve, and he's been very active around the map. So in conjunction with seeing a Guinevere roam for the very first time, he's been able to land 3 assists because of the way that he plays and allowing Dewa to hold on to this gold lead now, 1K and counting.
Yeah, and that's the combo I mentioned in the draft, right? When they pick up the Guinevere with the Arlan. Arlan final slash into the Battle Requiem. Oh my god, these pickoffs.
It's just too readable for Dewa United and Bigatron. They're Nile popped the Phantom Steed just to zone away. That's not a good sign for the Red Robots.
So clearly now Dewa United are in a position where they're mobilizing around the map a lot quicker. What's the answer for BTR?
Well, I mean, the thing is for BTR, the answer can only really just be fight, right? Their composition is built to fight, so if they don't go for the fight, it'll just be bad on them.
Oh, in the no man's land, and the second turtle should be Dewa United. It's 5 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. And Dewa United, they're reading Bigatron like a book.
So what do? I mean, right now they're just dying one by one on the map. Do they look for a proper 5v5 team fight? Does that value BTR?
Right now, it's still 50-50. Again, that's why I said, right, I mean, for Dewa, they can still take these fights. They can also go for the pickoffs. For BTR, I think that first turtle where they dodged a few of those skills, maybe they could have just gone in and gambled, but they didn't want to do it. But now, because they've been picked up so many times, picked off everywhere, it's a lead that you cannot ignore. So in the 5v5s, Dewa have a big advantage. Lynch is 2 levels down on Kin. This is the level that Kin brings to the table individually in the lane.
He was Rookie of the Week how many times last season? Oh, Kin, again, really showing his performance, his mechanics as well in the lane. And if we're talking about the lead that Dewa currently is holding, unfortunately, 2 of those kills are given to Maybe. And yesterday, we were watching back in the talent room, and Aldo calls Freya Gila. So Freya crazy mode. So when Freya gets ahead, when Freya gets the value, gets the resources, it's really difficult to take her down in team fights.
Yeah. All in.
Stunned level 10. Fanny still able to get out from that one. Just a reset though. 3K gold lead. They want the bottom side here. It seems like Clive, no options, just a retreat.
Yeah. Look at the items real quick. Let's take a look at it. Endless battle being built up by Clive. It is a 600 gold lead for the Freya. Heptaseas and straight into the Melfic Roar very quickly as well. Going to be picked up by the boys. It's just a straight up lead, man. There's really a lead everywhere around the map, but the biggest one is obviously Kin. Lynch has already started rotating, started grouping with the team because he knows he needs to look for these big sets for the team, and Kin is just really finding all the benefits from that. Pushing in the lane, making Lynch lose even more XP and gold from these turrets up top.
I feel like it requires just one moment, right? Because, oh, wait a second, Mueza!
Mueza finds the perfect opening, and down goes Nile. Maybe in the back, trying to cause havoc. They want to retreat Bigatron. Not enough firepower as Dewa United finds the last turtle. Now they want to close the gap. They want to fight. That's a stun. Pin forced to use the flicker as Bigatron. They are crumbling.
Dewa, Mueza! Looking for these opportunities even before BTR can react. What I really wanted to say earlier on was BTR, they have the tools. I know they're behind right now, but it feels like maybe it takes just one moment, one combo, because technically they have the Badang, right? They have the Sora, they have the Valentina, they have the tools, but Mueza somehow always finds these opportunities before BTR can even react.
And that's due to the dangerous grass and flicker, right? For the Guinevere, if you're in the jungle, you can't really, it's very easy to read out. Well, maybe not very easy, easier to read out, but with the flicker, you have to constantly be there, locked in to try to react to it. You might not even be able to react to it, that's why you have to go Purify. And the thing is, BTR did not bring a single Purify. They were all ready to try to react to it, and that hasn't really paid off. Oh, look at that damage from Octa.
What is he on already? He's only on 1 item, no? Oh,
yeah.
2.
And it's a defensive item on the second part, right? Usually you see the Lightning Truncheon built up after the Glowing Wand. No, he's still building a safe build just because he's respecting BTR's die potential. This is what we were mentioning earlier in the draft as well. Barca, in the mid game, she'll have a lot of damage, yes, but it will be very difficult to get a Feather Airstrike if the game's equal or if BTR is ahead. The thing is, it's a 6,000 gold lead, yet still Octa is playing it safe. He knows all he needs to do is survive and dish out damage and it'll be good. Mueza
Bigatron, they
Well
want to
played.
fight here, and that was a quick disengage by Dewa United, keeping all 5 members intact.
I think BTR, I mean, I think they're starting to read that out, right? That pattern. The fact that Lynch was able to get out of that is important. Maybe that's their plan now. They're going to try to use Sora as bait.
I don't think so. I think he needs to be the main initiator. I mean, the thing is for BTR, it's a 6,000 gold lead. This is a horrible spot to be in for BTR. But they will have no purifies either, so one big set can turn things around. It's just, when can they find an angle to actually look for those fights? Right now, if they walk up, they're just going to get poked down, or Muez is going to engage first, and they're cooked. 6,000 gold lead, free Lord for Dewa.
No contest.
No contest. Do they have to wait Clive 15 to at least have a chance? Clive 15? Yeah, Yisun 15?
I don't think so. I don't even think that's something they can utilize, because Yisun damage, it's pretty good, but against this tanky composition, the only guy that you can really shred is Octa.
And the problem is, even when he does it, I feel like YSS is kind of a low-range hero, right? So he has to get in a little bit of to go in a little deep, and if he does that, Kin's there, Wenza's there, Maybe's there, who already secured that 3rd item, by the way.
Yeah, early Chastise Pauldron as well by Mueza. That's his first item, man. So many Chastise Abusers. We used to have Skypiercer Abusers, now it's the Chastise Abusers, and now Clive, yeah, has to go for the Melfic Roar instead of the BOD. He can't just be stacking up on that damage. He needs some more of those penetration stats. Big Lord Charge. If they get this is big. Far lane control.
Phantom Seed Pop just to secure and try to save the bottom side turret. They will fail though, as Dewa United will move on towards the mid lane. Now Kin is able to keep his distance. That's the final slash on towards Lynch. Under the turret, terrified. Kin flickers out to safety. No, the turret damage was too much. Down goes Kin.
Okay. I thought that was an overstep by Lynch, but technically he was still able to get Kin down. They're going to be able to defend. Wait a second.
Oh, that's a big off. Phantom Seed, been very low, still able to get out for now. Where's that though? Will flicker out of danger. As Bigatron, they saw an opening, but it seems like Dewa United able to keep their distance.
But they still lose that bottom tier turret.
Yep.
And that's the opposite side of the next Lord.
BTR don't really have... They're a team that needs to stick together, right? They're a team fight comp. They don't have a Claude or a Moscow. Someone to stay in the side and rotate around really, really quick. So they don't even have an assassin to do that. That's a Leomord that wants to fight as well. So this far lane base turret take is massive for Dewa United. Yeah, they gave away 1 kill. That was a by the way, miscoordination, right? Kin slashed him away from the spatial migration. Just a little bit of a mistake, but it's A-okay. No shutdowns given. It's all right for Dewa. It is a trade that is still completely worth it. They attempted something that might have won them the game very early. And now BTR are still in the same situation, maybe even worse. Yeah, way worse. They can't rotate, they can't go to Lord, because Dewa, they're the type of team now, Season 17, to Lord dance really clean. And if they don't, if BTR try to commit on the Lord, Wave in the bottom lane is just going to crash into the base. If they try to split their team, Dewa will take the 4v5.
You can see it. You can see it on the map.
Yep.
I mean, they're choosing to split, I guess. But no one's really controlling that bottom side of the map.
Exactly. They can't. They have to stay on only like one side of the map here. Like mid-top or mid-bot. You can't go top-bot like when you have a, normal marksman or a traditional split marksman. That's why the Moskov ban now, makes a lot of sense. They kind of corralled BTR into that team fight comp. It's also good against the Fanny, the Moskov.
That wave's crashing.
It is. A big wave too. Badang and Yisun though, we've seen this last season, but do they have enough damage? Oh, Octa!
Nice.
Great read. Now, the counter engaged by Dewa United, and down goes Finn. Lynch next on the chopping block, flickers away, but down goes Lynch as Dolan, the rookie, finds the quick 1-2.
Octa doing Octa things. Beautiful read. Unfortunately for BTR, they're not going to be able to get a 1-up on that. And that's just going to be a free Lord for Dewa.
That was super quick, man. That reaction, Octa, improved so much. My lord, it was super quick flicker out of Finn. Finn was concealed too there, right? He flickered into him, tried to go for the lock. And yeah, no wonder, Octa still. he brought Bloodwing's second item. He was still being very respectful, and you can see the level of awareness that he has. Man, Coach Wright, what has he been feeding his players the last few months? Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, official. Oh my God, man! I wish we could see it all the way from the bottom, man, so we could see like just how far you went and how quick the reaction was. Maybe you just looked at that part of the map, saw the concealed Finn.
That must have been like a split second though. But he's still able to get it. I think he was most improved player,
Yes.
right? Last season. So he's still showing that level of performance. But here we go. That's the push.
Yeah, that's gonna be the mid turret taken down. Oh, that's an engage without follow-up, and down goes Finn for nothing. It's just a delay. The base wide open, ladies and gentlemen. Clive in trouble, no minions for now. Riza trying to find Octa, finally slays him, but take a look at the main base. That's gonna be Mueza taken down. Very low for Lynch. Down he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, the debut for Dewa United, it seems like, will come to fruition. 1-0 for the Apostles of God.
The Dark Horses of MPL ID Season 17. What a performance. It was clean. Of course, we saw that moment with Kin, but like you mentioned, it didn't give too much over to BTR. 15-minute game, 6,000